Hello, my lovely people, and welcome to Owen's Mind, a light-hearted trip through the contents of my head and the world in general. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about forgiveness. And the reason I bring this up is because it is something I am, being perfectly honest, really bad at. My character, I'm incredibly stubborn, and I don't find forgiveness easy. And the problem is that forgiveness is now expected. You are expected to forgive somebody, forgive and forget and move on and all this kind of stuff. And for many people, it comes from various different places. So for some people, forgiveness is due to their faith. Their faith encourages them to forgive. In Christian religion, even as Jesus was on that cross being crucified, he was, purported to have said, "Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do," that kind of thing. And that is passed down. And there is real merit in forgiveness. I'm well aware of that. But the problem I have, that I've always had, is that if somebody has done something that requires your forgiveness, if they haven't acknowledged it or apologized for it, you forgiving them, to me, has always felt like you've excused their behavior, almost like you've let them off the hook. And I know that's not the case, but that's always how it's felt to me. And I really struggle to get past it. And like I say, I am as stubborn as they come. And if I feel somebody has done something wrong that has upset me or angered me, or I have a real trouble forgiving that person if they have not acknowledged what they did. And it's a real problem for me, I'll freely admit it. So what I'm asking, I suppose, is that, am I in the wrong here? Or should there be some responsibility on the person? Should you forgive anybody regardless? There is truly inspiring stories of people who've had loved ones taken from them in horrible manners, and they've forgiven the perpetrators. That is phenomenal to me. That's something I don't ever imagine being able to do. If somebody hurt my children, my loved ones, being able to forgive that person, I don't think I could ever do it. If they apologize, I don't think I could ever do it. If it was an accident, if it was an accidental thing and a tragedy, but it was completely accidental and they felt real remorse and apologized, possibly. But if it was a malicious act, if it was an act of carelessness, if it was drunk driving, that kind of thing, I can honestly say I don't have it in me to forgive. And I don't know if that makes me a bad person or not. I'm guessing there's a couple of reasons for forgiveness. There are people who forgive because they believe it generally the right thing to do, to absolve that other person. I forgive you. You hurt me, whatever you did, but to take away their potential guilt or pain, anything they may be suffering. But again, if they're feeling guilt and they're suffering from it, surely they would apologize. And at that point, if you choose to forgive them, then that's kind of a two-way thing. The other side of it is that if you don't forgive them, carrying that burden is a detriment to yourself. If you carry a hatred or anger towards somebody, if they're not aware of it, then the only person who's been affected by it negatively is you, because you're carrying that. Particularly if it's somebody you see, or it's a family member or somebody you know, or you'll see maybe at work, or you see when you go out socializing, because then you get that horrible, I've had it, that horrible knotted feeling when you walk into a room and you see this person who you know you are not on good terms with. It's a physical discomfort. And you're like, if I just forgave them, even if they don't apologize, that dissipates, it's gone. And then if they want to feel something towards you, that's on them. But for me, you've kind of let it go. I just really struggle with it. I can't say who this phrase is attributed to, but it's something along the lines of, carrying anger or hating somebody is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's something like that. Don't quote me, but it's along those lines. It's basically like, you know, if you're carrying hatred or anger or, you know, negative feelings towards somebody, if they're not aware of it or they're not bothered by it, the only person who's suffering is you. You're projecting all this out, and you're the only person being negatively affected by it. If they couldn't care less, or if they're not aware of it, if it's somebody distant. So yeah, it is definitely one of my failings. I don't forgive, and I don't know whether I should, if I should work harder at forgiving people. Thankfully, in my life, there's not a lot of people that I bear a lot of ill will to. There's been people in my life who I perceive to have done me wrong, and there's still people in my life who do that. But it's, you know, for the most part, it's kind of like I've managed to kind of get past it. But I don't know if I've forgiven them, or if it's just a level of acceptance on my part going, it is what it is, it's not worth your time to dwell on it, which is different from me going, I forgive that person. If it's me just going, I'm just not going to, I don't forgive them, but I'm not going to let it bother me. And so I don't know, I just find it a real struggle. And like I say, I don't know if I'm in the wrong. So I really want some feedback on this, because forgiveness is expected now. You should forgive people, and you know it's the right thing to do, and it's the moral thing to do. And I'm like, well, is it? Is there not any kind of burden upon the person to apologize, to come to you if they have done something that hurt you, and if they are aware that they have done it and don't apologize? Why should you forgive that person? If they are aware they've done something which has negatively impacted your life and they refuse to apologize for it, why should you then forgive them for that? Because surely, and again, it goes back to one of my earlier points, I feel like I'm letting them off the hook. It feels like I'm saying, you know, you did this thing, but it's fine. How do they learn from that? How are they not going to do it again to somebody else or to me again? Whereas if I don't forgive them and they're aware and their awareness bothers them. See, that's the thing, isn't it? If you don't forgive them and they don't care, then yeah, they're learning nothing. But then surely if they don't care, your forgiveness would mean nothing as well. You know, if somebody's racked with guilt because they hurt you, and you go to them and say, I forgive you, it's okay, it's in the past, let's move forward. Brilliant, they feel that relief. If they hurt you and couldn't care less that they hurt you, you forgiving them or not will not make a blind bit of difference. So therefore, why should you? Because it has no benefit to them. It has benefit to you if you're carrying it. If you're carrying that angst and the weight of that incident, then yeah, fair enough. If you say you forgive them, if it bothers them or not, you saying, right, it's done with as far as you're concerned, you can move on, yeah. But if it's not bothering you in that way, why should you forgive somebody who hasn't earned the forgiveness, has not shown any remorse for their actions? You know, and again, actions, it's a very broad spectrum. You know, lots of different things will affect people differently. Some people it will be verbal, it will be, you know, some people it will be, you know, sadly physical and this kind of thing. And there's a million things that people get upset by and that you could do to upset another human being, for which, you know, you should apologize and you would, you know, hope that they would forgive you for. But yeah, that's just something I struggle with. And there you go, that is it. So let me know what you think. You know, should we forgive regardless? Is there a scale? Is there certain things you can forgive up to a point, and there's certain things that you wouldn't forgive? That'd be interesting to know. Let me know if you think, you know what, I'd forgive this, I may forgive to a degree. Would you forgive adultery? That kind of thing. Would you, or is there a point, it's like, I'd forgive somebody who told me a few white lies, but I wouldn't forgive adultery, I wouldn't forgive, you know, is there a certain, if you have a scale of forgiveness essentially, is there certain things it's like, you know, up to this, it's not worth the hassle. Above that, no, I wouldn't, you know, or is it just a blanket for you? I forgive because it's the right thing to do. So let me know in the comments. That was it, guys, just a quick thought. Be very interested to hear what you have to say on it. So get right in, keep in touch. Until next time, bye for now.